It's just setting up now. That's interesting because I can't see us going live, and I said I wasn't going to do that.
Says it is.
I might just come back to Zoom and start that again. So if anybody's watching, we'll be back. I'm just going to, sorry to muck that around, everybody. Oh, we are live on Facebook. Yep, we are. It doesn't matter what page we're on. I thought I might be coming from my original page. So anyway, let's get vibrating. We're alive, literally. This is one of my all-time favorites.
It's a good one.
So Good Vibrations, coming from the Beach Boys. I'll tell you what, some of these bands, Charmaine, knew what was coming.
Oh, yeah, they were speaking the truth. Like All You Need Is Love as well is another good one.
And I'm on top of the world. Look at this chicky babe. That's what we wanted to start with. Start on a good note. Hey, Charmaine, because we're all about having fun, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Welcome, everybody, to what we call our Upleveling Your Life show. So Karen Howe and Charmaine Livingston, who are just wanting to help make a difference. And we're picking topics each week that will obviously impact on that up-leveling your life. So it's upskilling, up-leveling, however you want to refer to it. It's just words. So this topic was all about your vibration. So it's so important that we found to be vibrating at the higher level, and we'll show you and demonstrate throughout this segment on, you know, how you can do that and what it looks like when you're on low vibration versus high vibration. So thank you. So my name is Karen Howe. I'm a human transformational coach, inspirational writer, and author now. I'm so excited about this opportunity. My book is going so well. I was at a brekkie this morning. Somebody said, have you got a book? I went, of course I have. I carry them with me. I come prepared. So we're coming to you weekly. That's the idea. Or as often as we feel that we have something of value. So it's not worth doing something if we can't add value to you. We want you to feel better within and without. So this show is intended to uplift and inspire, encourage those that are seeking change within themselves, but not really quite sure where to start. So are you ready for our lifeline?
Yep.
Give us a yes if you are, to up-level your life, because that's the only place to be, is to be thinking about growth and up-leveling, upskilling. So today we're going to touch on frequency, vibrations, all in the same category there. We want to give you some insight. So for me, I've been doing a lot of work in this space because I felt heavy for many years. I was in that blame game. I would not take responsibility. You know, it's just so much going on and I was weighed down. So if you think of it like that, heavy, that's the low vibration. But when something happens, like say when my son was born and he was left on my chest, would be a great example, and made this little, you know, cry, and I had this life that just came out of me, this life force, the vibration in me just skyrocketed. Now I understand how that works. So I started working on this myself because I wanted to feel good. And sure, you're not going to have days where you're jumping out of your skin, and you don't have to, but it's feeling good, and also being in a space where if something is thrown at you or said to you, you don't actually overreact to it. You can, I guess, digest it and, you know, process it in a way that you're going to have, your body and your mind is going to have a better response. Would you agree on that, Charmaine? That was probably, I've gone way off from what I'd originally thought I was going to say in that bit, but that's keeping it real, isn't it?
Yeah, that's feeling it. I was thinking I was the same. I've been doing this work for over a decade because I was really sick. I was physically in hospital, really sick and sad and wondering, how am I going to get myself out of this? And how did I even get in this place? And so, that started me on my journey.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we talk about the wide vibration, and my secret to success now in what I do. And when I say success, for me, is actually feeling joy in my life, waking up every morning and looking forward to my day. That's my success.
Yeah.
Secret to my
That's
success.
being rich in life, isn't it?
Being rich in life and maintaining a higher vibration. So it does take work. If you're in that heavy stage, because it's taken me a number of years to turn that around, but it's worth the effort. I think I was having a conversation with yourself, Charmaine, but it's the people that think we're born, we go to school, we go to work, we die. That's all there is.
Yeah.
There's so
That's
much
very
more.
low vibrational thinking, and
very low vibration. And we're going to show you in your body and we're going to actually give you a visual so you can see what we're talking about further along. I might get you to have a chat, Charmaine, about why raising a vibration. Einstein has a very good quote. He says, we are all energy. Everything we see, smell, and touch is energy. You can't argue with that. That's science, physics. It's all vibrating on different frequencies, from the tallest, seemingly solid mountain down to a single cellular atom or gas and high-pitched sound, meaning even things we can't see are existing as an energetic vibrational frequency. He was a very smart man, our Einstein. So what does this have to do with us, and how can we help you today get a grasp on this if you're feeling in that heavy space and you want to lighten the load? Charmaine, I'm going to let you touch on that one, that part of.
Yeah, like what does this have to do with us and raising our vibration? I mean, it's because a lot of people don't realize that we are energy, and our brains are electric and our hearts are magnetic energy, and we're connected to the source of the earth or to our soul. And if you want to change your life, you need to change your vibration, and that's pretty much what it comes down to. There's another saying, like perfect harmony resonates from perfect geometry, like perfect shapes, and we need to be balanced and in alignment for our symphony, or the song we vibrate, to be light and healthy and happy and flowing. We need to be light and vibrating on a high frequency.
It's like an orchestra, isn't it? Being the conductor of your own orchestra.
Absolutely, yeah. And when we said last week that the universe is like one massive song, a universe, and we're all singing our own individual songs. Our bodies are vibrating a song, a melody, and either that song is beautiful and in tune, or it's way down and out of key. So as you know, when you're tuning an instrument, if one note's out of balance or off key, the whole song just is uncomfortable to listen to.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah, and there's also the water experiment that's all over YouTube, showing when you freeze ice or when you freeze snow, it's a perfect shape. And then they were putting emotions onto water and then freezing it and showing it how it is all distorted and how our emotions change matter. So yeah, if you want to change your life, you need to change your matter, and change your frequency.
Yeah.
Our bodies are the same as that. They need to be aligned and balanced.
Yeah. And when you talk about water and flow, when you look at a stream, there's no way you can stop the flow of a stream. That's nature, which is what we are. So, it's all about the flow.
We want our emotions to be like water, just ducking, diving, dipping, going around those obstacles. It just keeps on flowing, and that's how we want our emotions to be.
Yeah, most
like water.
Yay. And when we're unbalanced?
Yeah, well, we're just not flowing. We're stagnant, I think. Maybe we've flown into one of those side rivers that goes all smelly.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
With stagnation, water needs to keep flowing, and life is flow. Life is movement. Without movement, you're not alive. So that's what it is. I think it's vibrating on a flow.
Yeah.
Vibrating and flowing.
We're vibrating in the flow. So what we'll we were talking about doing a visual, weren't we? I'll have to see if I've got that picture available. How to raise your vibration, explain how we sometimes end up existing or experiencing life on the lower frequencies, more heavier frequency.
Yeah.
So what I might do is actually take advantage of that moment now to share that particular screen, and I might get you to run through it. Now, where did you go? Here we go. Beautiful. Just let me know. Can you see that?
No.
Okay. So it's not sharing. Why are you not sharing? Let me just try something else. Come back to us. Share. It's interesting. It's not appearing there. I'm just going to do something else. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Trying to find it so I can.
Yeah, it should just be here. I had it open, so files. Here we go. Let me just try it this way. We need to share this because it's amazing. The visual is amazing, and I'm just not sure why it's not coming up. Oh, I hear the birds in the background. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Let me just go and do something here. Okay. In the flow. Notice how we keep it real here when we go live, guys. You're not bored with us yet.
I should have brought a picture.
Oh, here we go. Got it now. I think it was because I didn't name it. So look at that. Woo!
Yeah, that really outlines our frequencies. You can see right down on the lowest. You've got shame. If you can see down the bottom, shame, fear, and grief. If we're carrying that, in ourselves, in our being, that is very low vibrational.
Shame's not showing on there. So shame is below apathy, isn't it?
Yeah, shame's down in about 20. And we're talking hertz here, sort of like if we were to measure our body's frequency, if we were very sick and diseased, our frequency would be very low. And we get sick and diseased from that is a physical manifestation of emotion. So if you're sitting on a frequency for long enough, that's how disease starts. So going up and down over the emotions is totally fine. That's working through your stuff, but staying on a constant in grief and not working through your stuff, or staying on constant shame and blame, not working through your stuff, that's when it's going to start to manifest as a physical disease. The frequency that just does not flow.
So as you can see it there, peeps, and how many people just feel they need to stay at that low level because the person next to them's at that level. And if I appear to be maybe enjoying my life too much, what will happen to this person next to me? What will they think of me? Oh, you're a show off. I was born in an era, Charmaine, you probably read it in my book, of tall poppy syndrome. As soon as you stuck your head out, it's like you had it chopped off.
Absolutely.
Nobody wanted or liked to show off. So
that's right. That's what we got told as children. No one likes to show off. Oh, you love yourself is what you get thrown at you at school. And also, by old school parents as well, they'll always shame you into behaving, like, oh, everyone would judge you. And then you're like, and that's how
we build all of these.
Yeah, that's how the conditioning of existing on a low vibration starts. It's from conditioning from when you're very young and you're told that you'll never be anything and that you're not good enough, and nobody likes to show off, like you said. So you learn this at a very young age, and this sort of sets your default on where you are going to live your life on this scale, on this frequency scale. And then it's the same thing if people are on a very low vibration themselves, if they're depressed and stuff, you come home and you're like, oh, guess what happened at school today? And they're like, oh, you're happy, and they'll try and bring you down to their level of sadness because it makes them feel balanced. So we always feel like we've had to accommodate for people that weren't happy, because it's disrespectful for us to be so happy when they're so sad. It seems to be what we learn when we're younger. So we want to deprogram that.
set up for life, instead of it being, oh, look, I really, obviously I feel for you. It's a terrible thing that's just happened. When you're ready, just let me know and we'll go and have a coffee. You're not going to stand there and go, oh, let's go out to lunch now, and ignore how they're feeling.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Empathy.
Yeah, empathy is the key. But sometimes some people do need to kick up the pants.
Yeah.
Enough now. Let's get moving, because you want to be sitting no less than neutrality, and actually above in that sort of mind, love, joy as much as possible.
Yeah, love and above.
Love and above. Yeah, that's a great way. 500 is really that level, love and above.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're going to drop down because you're still going to fall into old patterns, and that's okay. But it's noticing, oh, that's right. That's what I used to do, which took me down that dark place I didn't like.
Yeah, we want to be aware of that the yin and yang of life is a wave, and we have to be up and down. We have to be, it's like if we say we should be awake and never asleep, it's not reality. We need the up and the down, and to have that flow of life and momentum. Like there can't be the flow of a river without the waterfall or the mountain and stuff like that. So we need the up and the down, and our downtimes are learning times, our soul's learning. So we feel joy, and then someone says, you can't be happy, that tall poppy syndrome, and then you throw back down into shame. But while you're down there, that's learning, and then you lift yourself back up again, and that's the dance of life. And without that, you're not alive. It's just what we're talking about is when you're really sick, when you're really sad, and you're living every single day, every moment, as soon as you wake up in the morning, in those lower vibrations, and you'll find you'll run into accidents and all kinds of sickness, because it's your body, it's giving you a message, wanting change. And
it's heavy and it's tired, constantly tired.
You've got no energy, and you've got no patience, and you have hopelessness pretty much. And that's when you get to that place, that's when your body will keep on sending you cues for change. And they'll get, there'll be subtle cues and then big cues, where you end up in hospital with something gone wrong, and your body's saying, I'm really wanting some change here. And it comes down to emotions mostly. Like, emotions are a big one.
Yeah. That's really cool. I just can't stop looking at that picture. It just spells it out. If you know you're feeling, and you spend a lot of time in that place, the grief, the shame, the blame, the not taking responsibility, always desiring what's out there others have got that you want. If you're always angry, you overreact to things, as something said. People can say most things to me now and I can't be offended. I'm not saying it doesn't sometimes niggle at me a little bit, but I wouldn't go, who are you talking to, or saying that,
or go home and change
who are
everything.
You to say that, or change it. I'd just be going, well, that's not my stuff. That's their stuff. How they're feeling, what they're going through.
That's that emotional resilience, isn't it, that we're trying to conquer here? And I think if you're if the people that you hang around, your family and your friends, your workmates, are all on a lower vibration, you will begin to sink and become, they will bring you down. So but once you're getting up into the 500s, if you have a vibration of 500, you will actually, if you could walk into a room and you will actually lift them up. Whereas if you're all loitering on low yourself most of the time, it's very easy to be dragged down by a group of very angry, fearful people, or watch the news and quickly get brought back down again. But if you've got yourself into a place where you're operating from love and above, you will lift up the people around you more than they will bring you down. So that's where it'll just be off a walk, water off a duck's back, they say. That's where you'll be when you get to that place.
And it's not possible for anybody to say anything that could actually hurt you to the level that could have once upon a time when you were sitting in the lower vibration.
And that's our goal, is to work your way up to that place, isn't it?
That's where you can get more things done. That's how I've been able to have more capacity in my life to help the things I need to do and want to do to make a difference. So I could never have done that while I was still in that low vibration.
No, you physically couldn't, because it's you
just can't see it, you can't feel it, you can't, you've just got this chewing the cud all the time, stuff going around in your head, and it's like all this stuff that you feel is important, it's not, and it's actually weighing you down.
Yeah, and you're projecting. So all the time you've got an antenna, which is a receiver and a projector. So what you're putting out, if you're putting out fear and lack and shame, is what you're going to get back. So, you know, when you're putting out love and joy, that's the people you're going to run into, and the opportunities and the flow. So that's what you're aiming for.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're putting out manifestations, but they're, you know, you're wanting more love, but it's based on fear of not having enough love, well, then you're still going to get fear back.
Be careful what you wish for, as the old saying goes. You'll get what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Wherever your thoughts go is where the flow is, and it can be good or bad.
Where
So,
energy goes. Yeah.
That's perfect for this topic, of course, energy. So that's, thanks for correcting me on that one. Hey, listen, with the chakra sound, just I have done some work with people on this. Can you just enlighten us to the chakra sounds?
Yeah, well, they each vibrate on a different frequency, and your lower chakras and your higher chakras are all a different hertz frequency, and your heart is like 525, for example, hertz, and that's the frequency of love. And I guess if you were tuning yourself like that picture, you would go through like you do with your guitar, and you would sort of check each chakra to see which one's out of balance or blocked, and they'll talk a lot about this. And so singing bowls mostly are tuned for every single chakra. So because the sound is a frequency, and we will sync with the sound that's around us. So if you're sort of wanting to open up your heart and wanting love, you can get a singing bowl that is the 525, the love, and listen to that every morning, and it will open up your heart. It will sync your heart and maybe clear blockages and stuff like that. It's sort of, you can tune your instrument, tune your body as an instrument. And
that's what we should do next week. We should bring a chakra crystal bowl in.
Yes. Yeah. A singing bowl.
Singing bowl, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are all tools that can help, I guess, improve your frequency, so your vibration. And as you can see the picture I've got behind me, I usually try and put a picture behind that's relevant. When you're standing on top of a mountain like that, you're on top of the world. Imagine how you feel, you're looking out, and it's just, the feeling is extraordinary. And as Charmaine reminded me too, meditation is really cool, and that's what you do generally with the singing bowls as well. So you go into that meditation. The quote Charmaine used was meditate rather than medicate. So find ways that we can just improve our existence, our being, rather than dumbing it down.
Yeah, so if you've
ignoring it, I should say.
Yeah, like shooting the messenger. If you've got a pain anywhere, or an emotional pain or a physical pain, instead of going straight to medication, of course it's sometimes it's needed, it's helpful, for sure. Not being a practitioner by any means, but before running straight for some Panadol, sort of meditate and say, okay, what is this pain asking? What does it mean? Is it attached to an emotion, or is it asking me to slow down? Like many things that you can try and heal your pain through meditation before medication.
No, I like that. I think that's really cool. So that's one thing I'm big on, is avoiding the medication where I can. Okay, so now, is there anything more we want to add on that presentation, that slide?
Yeah, well, maybe not on the slide, I guess, but we were going through things we can do.
We can leave it up
to
there.
Raise our vibration and stuff like that. But I guess we also want to know, we've also talked about what lowers our vibration in the first place. We talked about conditioning as a child. That's where we start to see the world, our conditioning on who we are and how the world is. And your vibration, or where you sit on that scale, I think comes down to mainly just three basic things. And one is your thoughts and your words, from last week, because that we were talking about last week, because your thoughts and words carry a very strong vibration, especially with the tension and the motion behind it. So, you know, so shame, if you're feeling shame, if someone's like, oh, for shame, Karen, and you're like, oh, that lowers you very quickly. Or if you're sort of pointing your finger at it, like shame on you to a child for doing something, that will lower them into that space, and they can carry that their whole life. It's sort of very harmful. So your thoughts and your words and the intention behind it is very powerful. So when we're talking about how we get in those low frequencies, thoughts and words are number one. Secondly is diet. So processed foods is called dead food. It has, when I say we need to eat alive foods, I don't mean alive animals. I mean food that is alive with sunlight. So organic food that hasn't been sprayed with pesticides and herbicides, and that has natural sunlight, grown in natural sunlight, that will lift you up. That can heal your body. Whereas eating processed microwave foods, that of a low, dirty kind of vibration, and that will bring you down. It'll make you heavy. As they say, you are what you eat, and that's definitely true.
Well, I know if I've had something that I think, oh, that was, you know, naughty, and I do it, I feel heavy afterwards. I do. I think, why did I do that?
Yeah, you should definitely feel energized after you eat, and not go into a food slumber, you know, after you've had a big something, and then you just have to go sleep for half an hour. You know that your body's working really hard to break that down. It's very low vibration. So, you know, yeah, the higher vibration foods, the better, for sure. That's the second one. And then your environment is important as well, sort of where you live, like your physical environment, like whether it's polluted or whether you're living on top of that mountain in the background, you're like with mountain air. And your environment is also the people that, as we were talking about before, the people that you spend the most time with. Like, what are their emotions at, you know, and what's their connection to you? Are they positive and uplifting, supporting you, or are they judgmental, maybe envious of your success and self-loathing and stuff? This can really bring you down.
Yeah.
Because they're just lacking self-love themselves. But you know, we need to have empathy for our friends and family, but it's not our fault if they're feeling sad or self-loathing, you know. So we can only sort of lead by example and keep our space of a higher vibration, and hopefully they will, you know, lift themselves up to that.
Yeah.
And your environment is also what we're watching, visual programming, like the news. Is that fear-based, or is it positive? That's super important, because what we relay through our eyes, you know, the doorway to our soul, portrays to us what we believe about ourselves and what we believe about the world. It just it's very important that, you know, what we take in every day through our eyes is visual programming. And so if we're just always watching the negative news, we're going to believe that the world is a terrible place, because that's what we're watching every day. So that will lower our vibration very quickly.
Yeah, it's incredible, isn't it, really? There's so many parts to this, but you can break it down and just each day just working on, you know, one thing at a time. So if you feel it's your diet, work on your diet. If you feel it's your thoughts and words, it's like picking your battles, really. Or if you feel you're hanging out with the wrong people, and actually, Charmaine, a good entry into introducing what you do with your environment is Charmaine is a feng shui consultant, and she actually will come into your home. Man, she came into my home. Apparently my home is amazing. And she did this full-on report. I was just blown away with the professionalism. So she works very closely with you in your space. So, and it is very important. I didn't realize people would come into our house and go, this place is so peaceful, but we had created that. You know, obviously the people in it, the way the house is facing, of course, and all the aspects of that is very important too. It seems like a lot, even when I think about it now and where I've come to from where I was, I would not change that. And I would do it 10 times over again to create this better life for myself.
Yeah.
And I know it's only going to get better and better. I'm not a guru. I'm just coming from experiences on all these things. These areas impacted me from a
Yeah.
child. We weren't uplifted as children.
No.
We were just surviving. And my book talks all about it. We were survivors.
Yeah.
And,
It's
no blame on my parents. They
no.
and the environment they come from was the same. And
That's
they came out of the wartime as well. So
that's how it starts. Like that was their conditioning, their view of the world, and then they project that onto you. This is how you have to be to survive, and it's like people were living in that fight or flight era where you just simply had to be in fear and to survive.
yeah,
But we're coming into a golden era now where we can let go a lot of our conditioning that served us well and it served our parents well, and they did a good job. We're here and we're good people.
we
And
survived.
yeah,
Now we're thriving.
yeah, and now we can let that go and say thanks for teaching us what we needed to learn about all that stuff, all that fear. But now we're ready to let it go and live in an era of love and joy and attract a world that is the reflection of that.
Yes, absolutely. That's beautiful. Thanks, Charmaine. So one of the things where I started, I guess, was journaling and just starting off being grateful for something in your life. There's got to be something in your life that puts a smile on your dial. Even if it's something as a child. I used to think back to my dad who made toffee apples. They were very random. He wouldn't do them all the time, probably for obvious reasons with our teeth. But and fire engines like lemonade with red cordial. That was kind of like a luxury for us because we didn't get soft drinks as kids. So these things put a smile to me, and I'm like, I'm grateful that my dad actually used this initiative and wanted to do something for us guys. They'd take us out and do stuff. We'd go to the beach and what have you. So, did some good stuff. But these are things to reflect on. Think of the good things and be grateful for them. As soon as you start being grateful for things in your life, you will start feeling lighter,
Yeah.
But start with one thing. Just find one thing.
It's like exercising, I think, like if you always are looking on the negative, like and always picking out all the bad things that happened to you when you were a child and stuff. It's like I call this, like this be your negative arm. So you're always exercising, oh, this happened and that happened, the negative. This arm is getting really strong, this negative arm, like learning to pick out the negative in life. And if you never exercise your gratitude, like what was the positive, what was the good side, like he made amazing toffee apples and he did all this amazing stuff. If you never exercise this gratitude, this arm will wither away, and eventually the negative arm will be so strong that it will be the only perception you have, and you won't even be able to use this arm because it's completely useless now. So you need to practice this gratitude. And so, yes, this bad stuff happened, but it was for a good reason, and I became stronger because of it. Make sure you're doing both your weights, not just the negative. And it's training your brain to see the positive. You may see the worst situation, but what have we taken away from this this whole situation? Just keep on exercising both sides for balance.
And it's all about growth as well. You're not just going to stay in one place. If you do, that's when you will struggle. So it's adapting to change and growth. And with growth, you growing as a person. So I cannot imagine just staying the same. It excites me to think what's next. I have to not get ahead of myself because I can then jump from one thing to another, which is not something that I did. That's not the Karen now. So the Karen now, has her visions and the things that she wants to achieve in this lifetime, and it's getting clearer all the time. But that came with a lot of effort, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. I got to tell you, it really did. But don't be afraid to do it and start somewhere. It's just start feeling better within yourself. Get to that love and above.
Definitely. Right.
So we talked about the diet and there's a lot. We could just keep talking on this topic, but I think what we might do is break it up and actually come back, and maybe our next week, Charmaine, see what you think, is that we can go into talking about that stronger life force and that higher vibration and some things that we can do, and we might bring the bowls in. What do you think?
Yeah. Let's bring a
Yeah,
bowl in.
let's bring a bowl in. So we would love your feedback on, anything you think that we can add value to you, because I always say that that's the HR coming at me. If I'm not adding value, I'm not doing my job properly. So I really want to be able to do that. And I want to see us all lift up off the ground, floating.
Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about as well. We're going to ask people their motivation, because when we're talking about raise our vibration, our frequency, so life flows, a lot of people will say, why do we want to do this? So what motivates you? What's your drive to be better, and to be more, and to be healthy, and to be happy? And a lot of people say, yeah, I just want to be happy, but what's your drive? Like, what motivates you?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's actually what motivates you, not what you think you want others to motivate you. So
you're not doing it for your parents, you're not doing it for society. Why would you want to do it?
Yeah.
It's your motivation.
Yeah. And start off with that first. It can be really teeny weeny, and create that new habit that's just going to take you up a level, even if you go from fear to desire, or just start creating a little bit more. And if you drop back, it's okay. You can still feel sad, and allow those tears to come through when you're doing this as well, by the way, because they're going to come.
And that's a great release too, because even though anger is down here, down on 150 and stuff, anger is actually very helpful and necessary, because anger, it's an emotion of the heart. Like most bouts of anger have come from a place of, like, it's because of love, like lack of love, lack of something, and that's where anger comes from. So when someone gets angry about something, it's usually come from a place of love ultimately. So when anger rises up, you're saying, like, what has triggered this, and sit with your emotions and just say, it's okay, I'm angry about this, and that's okay. That means I'm alive. It means I care about this situation. I must love this person enough to get angry and say, this angers me. And this is great, because that means it's right there, ready for you to release. And then when you let go of that anger, or you may even find this is triggering me because of something that happened when I was younger, whatever you find, wherever you go with that emotion, it just know that it's a great thing. It's your cue, it's your clue to working through your stuff, and you can really raise up from that. And so anger's not always bad to work through your stuff there.
Yeah. And my whole saying is, there's only one way, and it's up.
Yeah.
And yes, you'll have these things that will creep in. We're human.
Definitely. The higher your
feelings,
the more you actually work on yourself, and you're trying to get to these levels of love and above, you'll find the more stuff that comes up. The more you want to try and rise up, the more sandbags you'll find holding you down, because you want to get to this place, like, this is where you are now, but this is where you want to be. Everything will come up that is in your way, and you'll need to work through them, cut all those sandbags free before you get to this place. So everything that comes, know that it is for a reason, and it's on cue. It's in divine timing, and it's there because you're ready to let it go. So
yeah, it's pretty cool. The universe has a good way of showing us when we're ready to show up.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay, I went to a brekkie this morning. I'll just share this with you, Charmaine. It was a beautiful venue, Sirame Winery here in the Redlands. And Terry Morissette, who owns Sirame, he stood up there and obviously told his story. Amazing guy, and really uplifting for his staff. Anybody wants a job at Sirame, I'd go there. I'd even go there for a job myself.
I thought about it too.
So uplifting. And his thing was, to say 3 times to yourself, I am motivated. And, some people would be like, I am motivated. And of course, that was me. And then, I am motivated. I am motivated. And it's actually just retraining your brain to think differently about certain words or aspects.
Yeah, it's programming yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, and it's just like, allow yourself to punch the air, jump up, kick, whatever. just do it. Just, show up and show all. Bear all, I say.
Yeah, being vulnerable is very powerful.
It is. Actually.
Opens many doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you, Miss Charmaine, for your time.
Thank you.
And now for your information around your feng shui and coming to your, or you going to people's homes, or how you approach that, what the process is, give us your website. How can they contact you?
You can find heaps of information there about balancing and harmonizing your life and working through all this stuff and raising your vibration and your home at the same time. We'll sync you together. So you can find me on my website. It's soulfrequencyfengshui.com. And you can find me on Instagram, Facebook as well at Soul Frequency Feng Shui.
Yes, and you're definitely uplifting, and that's where we're at right now. It's
uplifting
each other. So we can pop that in the comments as well.
Yep.
All right, that's awesome. I think we might leave it there. So we'll bring the bowl next week. So we'd love you to come and join us in a singing bowl meditation. Maybe, with just a little bit of content, but mostly we can do around.
That would be great, because that'll sync our whole space with the frequency of love. So definitely be doing that. We'll set the tone, as they call it. We'll set the tone with the singing bowl.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right. We look forward to seeing you next week. Same time, same bat channel. I think I said that last time. I'll start sounding corny on these videos. Mwah to everybody. Have an amazing day. The most amazing day you can imagine. Uplifted. We're rocking it.
Yeah. I just want to say I'm motivated too. And I just want to say that the world is an extraordinary, beautiful place, and we just need to align with that frequency so we can see it, is my motivation.
Yes, I love it. I love it, love it, love it. All right, I'm going to say bye for now. I'm going to actually stop the live stream. Bye, everybody. See you soon.
See you next week.
See you next week. Yay.